On the last episode of 20 Sides, Holden, Dail, Jace, and Lucia finally finished off the giant hyenas, but 2 humanoids came around the corner walking through the water. The party bluffed their way through the encounter. Holden heard one of the humanoids mention the Wormling once again as the party passed. Jace, Dail, Holden, and Lucia finally walked out of the dungeon and back into sunlight. Jace was concerned about his newfound curse of lycanthropy. They visited Elder Thrain, retrieved their coin, and agreed to return back to the overgrown shrine to explore the rest of the dungeon. And now, episode 26 of the Nexus. Welcome to 20 Sides, a fast-paced, story-driven, actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Now, Campaign 2, The Nexus. Yep, I'll read the note to you again.
Yeah.
The time has come. You are needed back in Silverport. The first 2 have been dealt with, and the last is marked. The others can finish what remains. Your presence there is no longer necessary. Return at once. Leave the Wormling. The Shadowborn will return it to the drowned Warrens. We move soon. Do not be followed.
I would imagine that was for Nash.
Yeah.
Because Nash was there.
So Nash.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is Nash being told to go back to Silverport, where he's probably with McGonagall. What's his name?
McGonagall.
What's that one's name?
Marcellus.
Yeah. Lord Marcellus.
High Lord.
High Lord Marcellus. So I'm sure there's a tie there.
Okay.
And Alden probably had some dirt on old Lord Marcellus, which is why he was taken out. And that we're wrapping it all up. We're getting here.
Would it say that they would return? Shadowborn will return to, what was it?
What's the name of that place?
The Shadowborn will return it, meaning the Wormling,
to the drowned Warrens.
to the drowned Warrens.
Okay, but I'm not really worried about that, because that's just obviously a creature that they were using for something that they're going to be returning. But the Shadowborn were in Glen for something in the tower. We just don't know what
we
they
don't know
were
if
in
the
there
Shadowborn
for.
were in there. We know that.
Shadowy.
Well, the
what's his
shadow
name?
thing is what attacked us.
Right there, but that doesn't have anything to do with the Shadow. Not necessarily anything to do with the Shadowborn.
Correct.
Shadowborn, just the cult.
Yeah.
group
Oh,
that-
that's the cult.
Yeah.
For some reason, when I thought Shadowborn, I thought
shadowy
shadow,
creatures,
the
yeah.
shadow creature. Okay.
Yeah. So only
okay.
Holden was the one going to the tower.
Right. But
So,
we
I mean,
never really
our-
figured out, other than the letters or whatever we found.
Right. So I mean, our next is to go to Silverport to go try to find Nash and more, or try to go to do we know where Mossgrove is in comparison?
Yeah. Mossgrove
And try to find
is,
this Valen guy before he gets nicked. He's marked. But
Right.
He's not.
Mossgrove is in, so it's about 15 days away. Both of them are roughly 15 days travel away. Greenshade, if you wanted to go through the Jarkana Wilds to Mossgrove, would be fine. It would be about 15 days. Add probably 3 days if you were like, no, let's go along the edge of the forest. And then Silverport, you could follow the coastline and go all the way to Silverport in about 15 days.
I mean, obviously, we'd go to Mossgrove first.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, I
it's
don't know
gonna
if
be
they're
like-
ready
be
for
like-
Silverport.
They're kind of a
Yeah.
triangle.
Right. But it seems like that would be more on the way. Not necessarily, but less time, and then just cutting over to Silverport. But also, if we know there's more going on underneath, do we need to go figure out, like, if there's only 4 of them left, maybe there's one other person?
So I mean, I know in terms of a Wormling meaning,
Yeah.
right? But I don't know if that's.
I don't even know if they know. You may be the only one, or me and you may be the only 2 at the table that know.
You want to know something else? I'm real suspect of you now, Jace.
Yeah.
Because I put in my notes, because we talked about lycanthropes last time. Something else happened. And it says that I've studied other silver weapons. So what happened? I found something in the workshop or something. I found a silver weapon.
Yes. Yes, you did. Was it a silver weapon? Y'all did learn that.
Because it says Alden thought he could take moon energy and infuse it into weapons to make magic. He was making weapons out of the silver from the mines.
Yes. And him and Elder Thrain were making these silver weapons.
So Lucia said she's going up to her room to read some more. Dail, what's your plan?
I actually think that I think I want to go to that guy's study.
Okay.
Because I feel like I can get more from that. So if somebody wants to come back with me, because I want to study more of this. I want to know more about Cinnaroth and see if there's anything about it in his study. And then I also want to know, I want to start there.
Okay.
I think Holden will go because he wants to find some more quiet to do a little more study in the letter, looking at the map, see if he can figure out, and maybe from the study he can figure out if there's other things tying other things together or whatever.
Dail, what's your plan?
Yeah, I guess Dail would also go because she doesn't really have anything else to do.
No, go back to the inn.
Okay. Get some rest.
And I'll talk to you later outside.
Definitely. Yeah. Off the podcast.
Right.
About the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That we've talked about a lot.
Right.
We've texted about a lot.
Yeah,
you
that
text a
thread.
lot.
Yeah, that other thread that
Yeah. That they're not part of.
No, they're not part of that thread. They can't. It would ruin the whole game if they knew what we know.
The whole game.
The whole game.
All right.
I feel like that was on purpose. Got bit on purpose.
I know what a wormling is now, just because I Googled it.
That's a good idea.
It's a dragon.
You do things
Yeah.
and you
Just
name them or whatever.
It's a baby dragon.
Yeah.
basically.
A wormling is a baby dragon.
But you two gotta go. We gotta go get it. Yeah.
They're like, I don't even care if my leg's hanging off. There's muscle hanging out my leg. I'm going to go get it.
But it can fend for itself against weaker.
But it's a baby dragon is still a
It's still
it's
a
still
formidable,
especially
foe.
us,
Yes.
because we don't have any hit points
Oh
whatsoever.
yeah, no, tonight or
I'm not gonna go get it right now, but
But
Well,
definitely,
you know.
definitely in the morning.
But
I'm gonna raise that baby dragon.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my favorite.
I'm going to name him. Matt's going to give us another pet.
It's gonna give us another pick.
So I'm gonna look through all the star chart stuff we have
Okay.
and figure out when is the next full moon.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. You all go. We'll say maybe you grab some food or something in the inn.
wrap this leg up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get yourself bandaged up a little bit, and then go back to Elder Thrain to get him to go unlock his house again. And then Jace is staying back at the inn in his room, looking through these star charts to figure out when the next full moon is.
No particular reason, guys.
No particular reason. We will say, because if I remember correctly, when y'all first started and y'all went to the Broken Circle, y'all saw the crescent moon.
Mm-hmm.
So the next full moon would be in what?
15 days or something.
Yeah, I was going to say 17 days. You're looking at about 17 days from now will be the next full moon.
Okay.
Yep.
17 days to figure some stuff out, guys. Figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
Till he becomes a werewolf at night. Y'all eventually get Elder Thrain. He agrees to come unlock his house. Y'all go into the study. Lucia is specifically looking for things about Cinnaroth.
Yeah, Cinnaroth and Shadowborn.
Okay. And then,
Not Cinnaroth, but I'm looking at the map that we found, looking at the letter, looking at some of the Shadowborn stuff, trying to see if I can tie more things together about what might be going on there too. Why are they here?
and
what could be going on underneath there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, Dail, anything specific, or are you just hanging?
She's just hanging out.
Okay, perfect.
Shouldn't have anything else to do.
Yeah. Lucia, give me a religion check. Actually, wait. First, roll a d20 and get an 11 or higher, and there will be a book in there that will give you some information about Cinnaroth. 10 or lower, there's no books about Cinnaroth.
Badge 2.
2.
No books.
Unfortunately, there's no books about demon lords
Wait.
in there.
Can Dail say, hey, Lucia, is there anything you want me to look for, book-wise?
Yeah. I don't see anything over here. Does anyone see anything on demon lords or Cinnaroth specifically?
Man.
What do I need to
Sure,
roll?
Dail. 11 or higher. That's what you get.
It was obstructed by this guy.
No. Unfortunately, there just aren't
don't see anything.
books on demon lords
Fair.
in the little town.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to Elder Thrain about it at all, or are you good with just telling him y'all are going to do some more research and you want to check the annals
Annals?
of...
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Okay. And he lets you know, yes, we don't have any books on demon lords here. There are several, if you are thinking about eventually going to Silverport, there are a few larger libraries and places with scholarly texts there that would have more information than you would ever be able to read there.
How far away is Silverport?
Oh, from here, it's about a You could, on your own, probably get there in about 13 days, but we really
13 days.
we really encourage people to go by caravans because the more people that are together, the safer you are, and that usually takes about 15 to 16 days. As you know, they don't travel quite as fast, but they know the route. They stay on the route, and it's a little bit safer.
That sounds expensive.
No, not expensive at all, especially for folks that just made 220 gold pieces.
I only made 54.
Oh.
57.
Well, then you split it up. Is there anything else you wanted to learn in here?
Can you tell me a bit more about Cinnaroth?
Cinnaroth, from my understanding, he is the demon lord of chaos. He resides in the primal void, in one quadrant of the primal void. There have been cults pop up from time to time of all of the demon lords. Over time, there have been a few that have popped up over Istamo, the demon lord of the undeath. Cinnaroth, they call him the demon lord of the hunt. Most likely focuses on chaos and sowing chaos. And that's what these cults typically try to do. This is my guess of what they were trying to do here, is they were trying to sow chaos in the town. They love to see it. And they kind of prey on young men who have been lost, whether their parents died when they were young or they've rebelled enough, and they prey on them and get them to join their cults and do all kinds of horrible and horrific things. And that's what they do. Just like any other cult would do.
And how long has this activity been going on?
We didn't even know there was a cult in our midst. So you were the first that brought us this information. Bryn Mawr hid it well. And from my understanding, no one else in the town is part of this. There could be some that are, but to my understanding, there's not. So...
Well, I do fear that they're still there, just so you are aware.
Right. That's why when I was talking to you all earlier with Holden, I don't mind trying to scrounge up some more coin to get you all to finish clearing out the cult, or at least pushing them away in a different direction so we can feel safe.
We did put some in the jail here, so perhaps you,
yes,
while we're away, might want to talk to them.
We will do that,
and
for sure.
Figure something out.
Yes, interrogate them.
Absolutely. Do you know much about Mossgrove?
Yes, it's a town a little to the northwest through the Dracana Wilds. It's actually in the middle of the Dracana Wilds, similar to us.
And do you know anyone that lives there?
Yes, I know the mayor of Mossgrove.
Their name is?
Hold one, please. Hold.
Holding.
Her name is Carla. Carla Riven, Riven. She has been there for several years in Mossgrove. Half-elf.
All right. Okay. Well, do you have any questions, Holden, based on what you saw down there?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. Is there any text or anything that you think that would be beneficial to us that I could take for a bit? Since you have no books on demon lords.
Don't believe so. It does look like if you could find any text on lycanthropy in here that might be of use to you.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Looks like old Bryn Mawr was cursed with some kind of lycanthropy based on the fur on his body.
Do you have any of those books?
I'm honestly not sure. You have to just check. I don't. When I moved in here, it was already set up, and to be honest, not quite the reader myself, so I don't spend time just going through the texts.
I would like to look for a book on lycanthropy.
Yeah. Give me a D20, 11 or higher.
If I find a higher one, I'm going to take it and not tell anybody.
Oh, we got a 14 over here.
I did not.
8.
Yay,
Dail
I came in clutch for you guys.
A small, thin
Dail.
manuscript, not even bound. It's like there's some holes through it, and it has like a ribbon that's like tied in either corner. It's a red ribbon. You end up pulling it out.
I found this little tiny book. How cute it is.
Very nice, Dail. Yeah, well, can we borrow this, please?
Be my guest. Be my guest.
You know where we should go? Back to Bryn Mawr's house.
Why?
Just to snoop around.
All right. What time of day is
We've
it?
already snooped around.
It's probably like 3:30.
But I feel like now we
Four.
we can go with a different lens.
We found nothing, though. We found a small statue of Cineroth, is what we found, but there was not really anything else there.
Well,
when
you
we
can just
snooped.
stay home then.
Well, give me that lycanthropy book, and I will take it back to the inn, and I will read it there with our friend Jace, so he's not by himself.
I don't actually. Okay, thank you, Elder. We'll be off now.
Okay.
Okay, we're like walking.
All right.
I was not going to say anything, but I think that Jace was bitten by that.
Oh, no, he definitely was bitten. We
And
watched him.
Right.
He get
But
bitten.
I do believe I saw something in him, and I've studied this before, and just loosely, but enough to know that I'm pretty sure that we have now might have a werewolf on our hands.
What?
But why would you say that? I was bitten as well.
I didn't see the
What do you say
same.
about that, liar?
I didn't see. I take the book off of you and I try to find like where it says like what happens when you get the bite or whatever, and I try to search for something that happened that I saw in Jace when he was bit or something that I could point to.
I will tell you, I did feel after I was bitten something, like something was trying to, but of course, I am a strong individual, and I did not allow anything to come within me or anything like that, but I did feel it was different than just being bitten. Something else tried to happen, but nothing happened. So I think he's probably fine, I'm sure.
Okay, well, can I read this book before you do? I'll give it to you after.
Why are you being so weird about it?
I'm not being weird. I just told you. I think our friend over there is a werewolf now, and
well, how about you?
I think that we just need to be prepared.
Or maybe
that
you're
is
also a werewolf, and you
that
guys are
is-
both werewolves
Well,
together,
if
and you're
this
both
is-
in the cult.
Well, I'm definitely not in the cult. I will say this: we have a little bit of
your head off.
Yeah. Look, he was in the cult.
But we have a little ways. Why don't you just read out loud while we walk back to the inn, and we'll hear it together.
Very well. I have no problem with that.
I know you don't. You seem like a very smart person, probably well read.
I do like
so
read
you probably
alouds.
won't be stumbling over your words
Read
or anything.
alouds at any
Fine.
age are actually
Yes,
quite important.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Reading comprehension is everything.
There you go.
How long of a walk? Do you,
It's
can
not,
see
it's
it.
not far.
Yeah,
you
that's
can
right.
yeah,
Like,
it's
walking
like
super
5
slow.
minutes,
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So she just reads out
3
loud while we walk.
blocks.
Yeah, I'll say there are several different sections of the book, even though it's a very, very small. Like it's probably 15 pages. It's not really thick at all.
Yeah.
There's a section toward the end on healing the curse or removing the curse. There's a section on determining if you are cursed, like kind of at the beginning. And then there's a section on how to become cursed. So like what causes the curse. And then there's a section on like how to like tamper down the curse. So there's those 4 sections,
Like,
like
keep it
completely
at
out of
bay?
order.
Yeah.
is
Like,
how I
keep-
made
like,
them.
well, like tamper down is like keep it at bay.
Yeah,
or,
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Like
okay.
to tame it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
to make it not
a
so.
little more control over
control
it.
it a
rather than-
little bit
okay.
better. Yes.
I want to read out loud to my friends how you get it.
Okay. So you read,
No,
you read,
you're,
and you read, and
no,
you read.
you're reading the entire thing out loud. Don't pick and choose what
Well,
you
I'm
like to
I'm
read
going
out
in
loud.
order because I want you first to hear why I believe this is true.
Okay.
Okay, so the explains that if you are bit by a werewolf and you are unable to resist the curse, that you then become cursed. The resisting of it, you won't really know if you truly resisted it until roughly 4 to 5 days after you've been bitten.
Oh, that was much longer than I anticipated. Holden, you very
So,
well may.
I have 4 or 5
Also
days until I
be-
find out if I'm a werewolf or not.
Yes, that's absolutely what this says.
I would say I'm not. I felt something try, but I resisted. I resisted.
Okay.
Now, Jace, I don't know. He's quite a bit smaller and may not be as formidable, but
How
he could
about
have.
this? We will read the determining factors on our own, just the 2 of us, and
Okay.
we will do little tests on you and Jace in the coming days,
Okay.
and we won't tell you which is what, and then
Okay.
we'll decide then. Should we not tell Jace or?
Yeah. Maybe if we hint at some things and see where he's at, he may have a feeling of something already. Maybe not speak it directly, but see what he's feeling.
Okay.
Then maybe.
I tucked the book into my bag.
Okay. Y'all get back to the inn about that time as you're tucking it back in. Okay, so Jace, are you still in your room? Have you come down? We'll say it didn't take you too long to figure out,
Right.
the next time you may start to crack out of your shell, if you will.
No, I'm probably still in my room.
Okay.
I'm still hanging out.
All right. So y'all return.
Is it later in the day? I mean, were we there for a while?
Yeah, I would say it's probably.
Is it probably time to go down?
o'clock. No, no.
Okay, it's time for like dinner.
It's not that part of the date yet.
We're old people dinner.
It's supper
eating.
time.
Yeah,
Right.
Old people dinner time.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
About 4 o'clock.
Okay.
So y'all get back. Y'all don't see Jace anywhere.
I will go check on the little guy upstairs and see. I'm like looking at Lucia, like, and see how he's doing. And so I go upstairs and I just kind of like open the door. Like, hey, Jace, how are you feeling?
I'm doing fine. How about you, Jonathan?
Well, I'm doing
Shall I
doing
find out
fine.
anything?
We found a little bit, but not
Yeah,
much.
I didn't think you'd find much in
Yeah.
a small library in a small town.
What are you looking at there? What is that you're looking at?
Me? Oh, I'm just writing about today's event so we can work on the story.
Oh. Well, you have the star maps. I just didn't know.
Yeah. I'm just kind of going back over those, seeing if we missed anything.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay. Interesting.
yeah.
I know how that ties in, but okay. I trust you, the
Yeah,
author,
Holden.
the author of our group. Here.
Yes. We're writing a great story here.
And you're feeling okay. You're doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little banged up from today.
Yes,
not gonna lie.
I noticed that.
I'm not really made for the upfront combat. I need to go
understand.
to the College of Valor. I'm not
Oh.
a Valor bard. College of Valor in Dalmore. Didn't go to that
Well,
college.
we heard bad things about Dalmore.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Well, we are all downstairs. Would you like to come join us, or are you feeling up to that? How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, I'm a little fine.
You have a stick of meat in your hand.
How are you?
Or just
Taking
a
a boat at me?
giant turkey leg.
How are you doing? Are you-
Like from
This is
from a
tempting
Ren
to you.
fair.
You throw a bone at him.
I think we're just planning on spending some time together and just having a good portion of the day.
Time.
Good, yeah.
And so,
yeah,
would you like to
I'm,
come join us?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, let's go
Let's go.
downstairs then. And
It's going down. Everything's fine. The intervention.
okay.
So y'all go downstairs, and there is Lucia.
And
And
Holden kind of gives her a thumbs up, like, doing good. Yeah.
Dale's like, not so sure. Like side-eyeing him.
y'all grab a table.
So Holden said you guys found a little bit of information in the library?
I did.
Yeah. What
I
did you
gave
guys
it to
find?
Lucia.
What did you find?
Found a book.
Great.
No, no, it wasn't actually. No, she didn't. It wasn't a book. It was just a pamphlet type thing. But no, we did talk to Elder Thrain about Silverport and what was the mayor's name of that other town?
yes,
I wasn't really paying
Carla.
attention.
Carla
Carla.
Riven.
Yes, Carla.
What a unique
Carla.
name.
Apparently.
And named Carla.
Also, we talked a bit about other demon lords. Do you know anything about Istmo?
Dua?
I would say yes, you probably would.
Mhm.
Estamo,
Mhm.
the Timeless,
Stamo the Timeless.
the Demon Lord of Undeath.
And did they know about him?
I would say Lucia probably would, and then Holden and Dail would roll for it. I just think with y'all's scholarly
Right,
background, y'all
Yeah.
would know more about
Yeah.
Demon
They
Lords
probably know
than
a
they
little
would.
bit more than her. Yeah, I agree.
I feel
I
like
agree.
Dale's granny would like tell scary stories about
Yeah,
that.
maybe,
So, like,
maybe.
ugh.
Maybe.
Well, okay, so I mean, Cineroth and Istamo, this is shaping up to be quite the adventure. And we're
Not
we're
what
all
we expected, right? Yeah,
But-
agreed.
But to be clear, there would be nothing that would tie Estamo to.
Right, so why did they
anything
have...
else. They just looked through
Just
a book
asked
of
about
Demon
Demon
Lords.
Lords.
Like
Oh, okay.
they asked
I'm just trying
no, they
to.
didn't look through a book, sorry.
Yeah.
They asked Elder Thrain about did he
Okay.
know anything
Anything
about
about-
any of the
and he
other
knew.
Demon Lords, and he knew about
Estamo.
Estamo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Lucia's just trying to throw you off of the. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure. Yeah, I get
Throw
it.
you off the trail if you know
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Right.
The
yeah, like
scent.
sniffing. Yeah.
Throw you off the scent.
All right.
The smell's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
No.
Weird.
I cannot believe this is taking this turn. I had no idea today would be like this. What a day.
Yeah, what a day.
It was-
Well, would we like to order some? I'm sure it's been an hour or so. It's probably 5:30-ish.
Yeah.
A little dinner time.
Yeah.
Guys,
I'll just-
you know, as I'm writing my story, I realize how little I know about your lives before. I think knowing about the characters, their past, is really going to help us, our readers, one day, understand what drives you to be on this adventure. And why we're staying on the adventure. But I know today was a little scary.
It was a bit much.
Like I said, I'm not made for this either, but I think we all got put in this position for some reason. So let's I'd love to hear it. What would you like everyone to know about you?
Lucia.
Well, I just want to be known for the things that I find. I just want to bring things back to life that once existed and tell the stories of the people before me.
Great. And I think we're going to do a lot of that.
I want to be known for the love of my family, and that what I did was for their benefit. And I come from a proud family. We once actually from Avalon. I don't know if you know anything about Avalon, but during the time of Thormir, that's when my family was actually in Avalon.
Did you know that one of the characters in the stories of Thormir was also from Avalon?
I have heard that. Yes, I have.
It's interesting.
It is.
Wait, and she was an elf as well.
Yes, I have heard that. Yes.
Very interesting.
I don't know if there's any tie there or not.
No, probably not.
But yes, family from Avalon, and at that time we were more of a prestigious family there. But once the havoc was wreaked and we had to escape, we left with nothing and came, as far as we could go until our feet could go no longer, and that's where Glen was. And so
You didn't go back?
No, we had kind of settled in Glen and had been there. It took a long time for the word to get around, and we were no longer even in the same realm anymore. And
that makes sense. I heard they just threw flyers around town saying it was safe to come back.
Oh. Well, we would not have gotten those if that was the case. And I was not even born at that time. I was in my mother's womb as she ran from Avalon. And as you can tell, and I kind of pull the black in my veins, is my mother. Well, she was with child, was downed by a nightmare rider.
Whoa, I have heard of those.
And she was, again, once we ran, she was healed. And when I was born, I just had a little bit of the after effect, and I kind of pull up my sleeves, and you can kind of see
There's a
just
little.
Yes, I've had
There's
this.
a lot.
I am quite old, and it's been there for my entire life. I don't feel anything differently because of it, but. So since then, it's just been about the family and making sure that we are taken care of, and that's all I would really want people to know.
And is that why you're so fascinated with getting paid?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah, and
so
not fascinated, but I'm determined to get paid.
Right. So
I want my family to remain prosperous and to feel that pride that we once felt in ourselves long ago.
That's great. And Dail?
I just can't believe the only family member I've ever known was killed today.
No, Dail.
And they
Now
were
think about
a
this,
part werewolf.
You and him are both half orcs. Now I am a halfling. I know it's hard. You forget sometimes because I'm taller than most. But your family are also halflings, but we're not related. You remember, not all halflings are related. So
Well, they're not my real family. They're
right.
my-
So, but what I'm saying is, I'm not related to
Might
them just
be.
because we're halfling. But I'm not. I'm not. Family's
Well,
completely.
maybe.
Not all humans are.
Gonna
family.
run the DNA swab.
I don't know if we had
And
that
I'm
yet.
gonna find out more about you than you're ready to share. Then maybe you know about yourself.
I don't know what that means, but
I do.
I don't. Well, what are you trying to say? But yeah, I don't think it was your brother.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna pretend like it was.
Okay, I understand. So you long for family.
So my brother Brunmark is dead. My uncle Alden is dead. So much death in my family line.
And all of a
So
sudden,
you actually don't know any
So
of your
many
actual family.
Murder mysteries, no.
And how did you come across the Thistle Bluffs?
Well, what they told me is they found me on one of their journeys or one of their treks. I don't remember where or when, but I just was abandoned in the woods, and they were like, look at this little baby. And they didn't know if I was a boy or a girl, so they said, Dail seems like a good gender neutral name. Then they checked my grundle.
Beat you to it.
She did beat me to it.
No, they found me in the woods, and they didn't want me to get eaten, so they just brought me along.
That is
And now
great.
I just have been helping ever since.
Well, this is great, guys. This is really going to help the book and make you guys real characters in our stories.
I'm glad we could help.
Yeah. But yeah, you looked a little worried today. Are you still on board? I don't know. You're
not-
always our flight risk here.
Yeah, well, I came today thinking I was very much so on board, and then all of that happened, and I'd only have 2 legs, and the muscles don't really come back that often, so I'm not sure I could risk that again. Seems a bit much to be attacked by hyenas, and also cult members, and also werewolves. Did you notice that?
The werewolf? Yeah. We have his head.
That was
Didn't
my
we bring his
brother.
head? Yeah, we brought his head
My
back.
brother's a werewolf orc.
Right. That's very unfortunate.
I mean, I am on board for a few more days. I did
Okay.
tell my team a few more days, and
Perfect. And do we have a plan? What-
like 4 to 5 days for
4
sure.
to 5 days.
I will definitely be there for
Yeah, a lot
5
can happen in
days.
4 or 5 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
For now, I suppose I'm a bit knackered and would like to go up to my room.
I agree. I do believe that if after a good night's rest, we could go back to the shrine and possibly clear out the shrine. If it was those 4 men we saw, I believe that we would be able to take care of them quite easily. But clearing that out shouldn't be a problem, and we would get 300 more gold pieces. I do believe would be worth it. Worth the time. If it's another day, what's another day?
And that is it for this week's 20 Sides. Don't forget to tune in each week as Jace, Dail, Holden, and Lucia venture across Aberynth. Don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/20sides, where there are free options, $5 options, and $10 options to help support our podcast. Follow us on all the socials everywhere at 20 Sides Pod. And per usual, we couldn't do this without the atmospheric background tracks from Monument Studios and tabletopaudio.com. We will see you right here next week on 20 Sides.